So this is GATE's lecture for EMF subject for the year 2022. The first topic I am going to teach is vectors. So there are two types of vector quantities. One is scalar quantity, another is vector quantity. So the scalar quantities are those quantities which has only magnitude. They are completely defined only by their magnitude. For example, weight. For example, you can consider mass, weight, current, etc. These are the scalar quantities which has only magnitude. Another type of quantities are vector quantities. These quantities, along with magnitude, they have direction in space. So the direction of the vector quantity, it indicates the orientation in the space. Vector quantities are completely defined by their scalar component and direction, means it has a scalar component, means a value, it will be in the number format, and another part is the direction. So for the example of vector quantity are velocity, speed, force, acceleration, EMF, electromagnetic field is a vector quantity. So these are the examples. So for learning, for starting, we must know the operation of vectors. So for that, the first part of vector is a unit vector. Unit vector are the vectors whose magnitude is 1, that is unit. The vector with unity magnitude, magnitude equal to unity, is called as unit vector. It has direction because it is a vector, so it will have a direction. Its formula to find the unit vector, it can be written in this format. You can see this formula. This is the formula for a unit vector. A cap A means if you have a vector A in space, consider this as a vector. It will have a direction. So if this is a vector A, then its magnitude will be mod of A, and if you divide the vector A with its magnitude, you will get a unit vector A cap A. This is the formula for unit vector. Then we have to start with the operation of vectors. The first operation is just by scalar quantity. If you multiply any vector with a scalar quantity, for example, consider this as a vector. Take this as a vector. If this is a vector A, then if you multiply this vector with a scalar quantity, for example, consider this scalar quantity as 6. This is scalar quantity. Let this be in a variable B. If you have a variable B, B has a value 6, and if you multiply this variable with vector, then you will get B into A. B into A bar. This is a scalar multiplication of a vector. It will result as 6A. Then the another type of multiplication is by a vector quantity, means a vector can be multiplied by a vector. So there are two types of multiplication. One is scalar multiplication, another is dot. One is dot multiplication, another is cross multiplication. So we'll learn about dot multiplication. In dot multiplication, consider two vectors. Consider this as a one vector, and let this be another vector. If you have two vectors, then consider this the angle with theta between two vector. The angle is theta, and the above vector is A, lower vector is B. Then if you multiply these two vectors with angle theta, the formula you will get will look like this. This is the formula for dot multiplication. If you multiply a vector, if you multiply a vector with another vector with the help of dot operator, then the formula will be mod of A, means magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos of angle between these two vectors. Then the next type of multiplication is cross multiplication. For that, consider the same example. Let's have this vector A and B with angle theta, and if you take cross product of these two vectors, then the resultant formula you will get will be like this. This is the formula for cross multiplication. Means it will have some portion same, means magnitude multiplication of magnitudes mod of A into mod of B is same as that of the multiplication of A and B with dot operator. The difference is that it will have sine of the angle. The dot product has cos of angle, it has sine of angle. The dot product has only magnitude. A is magnitude, B is magnitude, means A, B both are scalar, cos of theta is scalar quantities, so the dot product will result a scalar. But the cross product will have scalar as well as vector quantity. A mod of A is a scalar, mod of B is scalar, sine of theta is also scalar. So the product of these three will give you scalar quantity, but A of n, A cap n is a vector quantity. It is a unit vector, has some direction. So the cross product of A and B will result in a vector quantity which will have magnitude as mod of A into mod of B into sin theta, and the direction is represented by A of n, where the A of n has the direction perpendicular to both A and B. If I mark A cap n on the figure, it will have like this a direction perpendicular to both A and B. I can mark this as it will perpendicular to A as well as perpendicular to B. It will perpendicular to both A and B, and the direction out of two possible direction, there are two possible direction. One direction will be downward direction, because downward is also 90 degree. So out of these two possible direction, the correct direction will be given by the right hand rule. If you rotate your finger from the first vector, that is A, to the second vector, that is B, if you rotate your finger from A to B, the thumb will show the direction of unit vector A cap n. Then the next topic is component of vectors. So this topic, let me rub this. So for showing this topic, let me draw the figure. Consider this as a vector, and this be another vector. Let the above vector be A and the next vector be B. So if I draw projection from the end of A on B like this, so it will intersect with B at this point. So that this distance will be called as the scalar component of A in the direction of B, scalar component of vector A in the direction of vector B. It will be given by a formula. Let me copy. You can see this formula. It will be given by this formula, A bar into A of B. So that this distance will is nothing but a scalar distance. It is given by a dot product of vector A into unit vector of A cap B. A cap B is a unit vector in the direction of B. So the dot product of these two will result in a scalar component. It will have distance from this point to this point. Okay. Then the next topic is vector component of A in the direction of B. So vector component of A in the direction of B is nothing, is just addition of a direction with this scalar component that we have achieved here. So A dot B, vector A dot A cap B gives you a scalar component, which is nothing but the scalar projection of A on B, scalar component of A on B. But for vector component of A on B, we have to just add a direction here. Then the formula will be formula will be like this. This will be the formula. The first will be scalar component, second will be vector component. In vector component, just you have to multiply with the direction, in the direction in which you are calculating the projection. So we are calculating the projection of vector A in the direction of B. So we have to multiply with A cap B. Then we have to come to next topic, and that is coordinate system. So there are three coordinate system: Cartesian coordinate system, then next is cylindrical, and the third is spherical coordinate system. So we'll start with rectangular system. For that we have to see a figure. Let me rub this. So consider this figure. It shows you three axes, x, y and z. So all the three axes are at 90 degree, and the point P in rectangular system, it can be obtained by this method, which is x comma y comma z, where x, small x, is the distance of this point P from x axis. It is the distance of point P from x axis. It can be calculated from this projection. Just draw the projection of point P on the xy plane at point P dash, and the horizontal distance will give you x. Similarly, the y, it is nothing but the distance of this point P from y axis. For that you have to take the projection of point P on xy plane and draw a perpendicular on y axis. This distance will give you y distance, and z component can be calculated just by drawing this projection from point P on z axis, and this vertical distance will give you z component. This is about the rectangular system. In rectangular system, we will have three unit vectors. One is in the direction of x, it will be a cap x. Next will be in the direction of y, it will be a cap y, and the third will be in the direction of z, it will be a cap z. One more thing I want to add in for cross product. In cross product, we have just written the formula for cross product, and the one method to calculate the cross product is just with the help of determinant. So with the help of determinant, you can find the cross product of two vectors. So this is the formula for that. If you have two vectors a and b with some angle theta between them, then you can find the cross product of vector a and b with this formula. It is determinant. You have to write the common part of a and b, and that is the unit vectors. A will have unit vector x, y, z. Similarly, b will have the same unit vectors. So you have to write in first row a cap x, a cap y, and a cap z. In the second row, you have to write the scalar component of vector, first vector. Here the first vector is a, so the scalar component of a in x direction is a cap x, in y direction it is a cap y, in z direction it is a cap z. Similarly, in third row, you have to write the scalar components of vector b. The scalar component of vector b in x direction is bx, in y direction is by, in z direction is bz. So if you calculate this determinant, you will get the vector cross product of vector a and b. Then the next coordinate system is cylindrical coordinate system. So let me present you cylindrical system. So consider this figure. So cylindrical system is nothing but the secondary system the primary of it is rectangular system, so it is based on rectangular system, so we have to draw the rectangular system x, y, z, and the component of the cylindrical system is rho phi z. It is written here as the coordinate of point P. So to find rho, just you have to draw perpendicular projection from point P on z axis, and this distance of this projection will give you rho component. Similarly, for z component, just you have to draw a projection from point P on z axis, and this vertical distance will give you z. And for this phi is nothing but angle. It is the angle of this rho projection with this xz plane. The projection of point P on z axis is nothing but rho, and the angle of rho with xz plane gives you angle phi. So with these three values, rho, phi, and z, you can find the point P. So point P is defined as a point in cylindrical system with coordinates rho, phi, and z, where phi is the angle in degree. Phi is angle in degree. So if you see the top view of this figure, you will find z as a point, and this rho will be, you can see this rho as the rho at the angle phi on x y plane. So let me draw that figure also. This is the figure, the same figure with different aspect. From top view, you can see that z is out, means it is top view, and the point P is shown here, and this is nothing but a projection of point P on z axis. This is marked as rho, and this the angle of this projection with xz plane, it is shown here as a line, because on top, from top view, this xz plane is it appears as a line. So projection of point P on z axis is rho. The angle of rho with xz plane is phi. It is more clear to show phi on in top view. Then the next coordinate system is spherical system. Let me show you the figure for that. Spherical system is also based on rectangular system. It is also based on rectangular. It is secondary system. It is based on it is not secondary. It is tertiary system. It is based on rectangular as well as cylindrical system. So it will consider both rectangular as well as cylindrical system in its calculations. So consider see this x, y, and z. This is rectangular system, and it will have phi as well as rho, but rho is not written here, but this projection is nothing but rho. So to find this phi, you have to draw projection from point P on z axis, means you have to find rho. Then from this rho line, just calculate the distance angle from xz plane. You will get phi. This is the one of the component of spherical system. The component of spherical system are r, theta, and phi, where phi is same as that in cylindrical system. In cylindrical system, you have rho, phi, and z. The second parameter is phi, and the phi in cylindrical system is same as phi in spherical system. Where theta in spherical system is also angle, it is calculated as the angle between the projection of point P on origin. This is nothing but radius, means the line that originates from origin and comes to a point P. It is a radius, and it will form a sphere. If you rotate this line in all possible direction, this point P will draw a sphere. So r can be called as a radius of that sphere. So it is represented. It is called as r for radius, and the angle of this projection of point P on origin, that is r, with z axis is phi. Its increasing direction is downward, means the phi increases from z axis, positive z axis, to negative z axis. Its limit is from 0 to 180 only, up to only 180. So the first is r, which is radius of the sphere, that is the position of point P on origin, it is distance. The second is theta, it is angle in degree, it is measured between the position of point P on origin and z axis, its increasing direction is downward. And where phi is the angle between the position of point P on z axis and the xz plane. So this is spherical system. So to see this oblique plane, that is this plane, the plane containing radius r, we have to see from left side, means we have to see from the line, from the direction which is perpendicular to this plane. So if I see in that direction, I can draw that figure also. Consider this figure. This is the direction, this is the figure, same figure. In the direction we have chosen the aspect in the direction perpendicular to the plane containing this radius r. So in this figure you can easily see theta, it is the angle between the radius and z axis. So these are three coordinate systems. Now the next topic, we have to come to differential vectors. Differential vectors in rectangular system, cylindrical system and spherical system. So differential means incremental, means small distances. So small distances can be calculated with the help of differential d. So if you see the xy, if you consider the rectangular system, in rectangular system we have x, y, z coordinate system. In that the differential will be like this. Differentials will be dx, dy and dz. Differential will be dx, dy and dz. So differential vector in x direction is dx ax, where dx is the scalar component and a cap x is the vector component. And differential vector in y direction will be dy ay, where dy is the scalar and ay is the vector component. And differential vector in z direction is dz az, where dz is scalar and az is a cap z is vector component. Now differential in cylindrical system, to show differential in cylindrical system we have to see with two different aspects. One aspect will show you only two axes, only two parameters. Consider this figure. In this figure we are looking from the phi direction. So if you see from phi direction, phi will be constant. That in that case this will be the projection line. This will be the projection line, that is the projection from point P on z axis. So it will be rho, and the vector differential vector in the direction of rho will be d rho into a cap rho, where d rho is scalar component and a cap rho is vector component. It is the differential vector in the direction of rho. And dz az, it is same as that is in rectangular system. Dz az is differential vector in z direction, where dz is scalar component, a cap z is vector component. The second figure to show another aspect. It will be a top view. So to see this, you have to see the top view. The top view is like this. Here z is out, it is top view. In this case the point P lies here, and from point P if you draw a projection on z axis, this distance will give you rho, and the vector in the direction of rho, differential vector in the direction of rho is d rho a rho, where d rho is the unit scalar component. And to show the differential phi, we have to move this point in some direction from the previous direction. Its previous direction lies here, and if you move this point P to some another point P, then it will change the angle. The initial angle was phi. Now the second angle will be added by d phi. So another total angle will be phi plus d phi. Total angle will be phi plus d phi. So just to forget the direction differential angle d phi, we have to move the point in some direction, either in this direction or in this direction. So here in this figure it is moved in upward direction, so it has drawn a figure angle d phi, which will be added with phi to get the total angle. Total angle will be phi plus d phi. So the differential vector in the direction of phi will be rho into d phi into a cap phi, rho into d phi into a cap phi, where rho into d phi is the scalar component and a cap phi is vector component of that differential vector. It is differential vector in direction of phi and it is given by rho phi d phi into a phi, where rho phi d phi is the scalar component and a cap phi is the vector component. Next is the spherical system. Now to see the spherical system, we have to again see two figures. One is in the direction of phi, means we are looking from the direction of phi to see to observe the theta, so consider this figure. So it is a direction perpendicular to phi z plane, called as phi equal to constant plane. So the point P lies here, and the distance from point P to z axis is rho, and this distance is this is the direction of radius r. It is a spherical system, so this is the direction of radius r, and the direction and the differential vector in the direction of r is dr into ar, where r is the distance, so dr is the scalar component of that vector and ar is the vector component of differential vector. So the first component is r, the second component is theta. So to observe the differential vector in the direction of theta, we have to see in this direction and we have to rotate the radius line from this point to another point, either upward direction or downward direction. So in the figure it is moved downward direction by angle d theta. So the total angle will be, the first angle was theta, now the total angle will be theta plus d theta. So to observe the differential theta, we have to move the point in downward direction by some differential angle theta, so it will get d theta, and differential vector in the direction of theta will be r d theta into a cap theta, where r into d theta is the scalar component and a cap theta is the vector component of differential vector. R d theta is the scalar component and a cap theta is vector component. So total will be differential vector in the direction of theta. Now to observe differential phi, we have to see another figure. Consider this figure. It is a figure perpendicular to z axis. So z out is here. It is the top view. In this we can observe that the point P lies here. Now to see the differential angle phi, we have to move this point in either upward direction or downward direction by a differential angle d phi. In this figure it is moved up in upward direction by angle d phi. The phi is measured from here. So initially it was only phi, but now it is phi plus d phi, because the difference is d phi. So in spherical system we don't have rho. We don't have rho. Rho is the component of cylindrical system. In a spherical system we don't have rho, so we have to convert this rho into spherical system. Because in a spherical system we have only r, theta and phi. We have three components, r, theta and phi. We don't have rho. So but now we are talking about rho. This if I calculate the differential vector in the direction of rho, it will be rho d phi into a cap phi, where rho into d phi is the scalar component and a cap phi is vector component. But we don't have rho in spherical system, so we have to replace this rho with some equivalent in spherical system. So if we use trigonometric formulas, then we can calculate rho as r sin theta in spherical system. Rho is equal to r sin theta in spherical system. It is given by trigonometric formulas. So r sin theta into d phi, r sin theta into d phi will give you completely a scalar component, and where a cap phi is vector component. So combined will be the differential vector in phi direction. Differential vector in phi direction. So this is all about differential vectors in rectangular system, in cylindrical system and in spherical system. Now differential we have to next topic is differential surfaces. Here we have studied differential vectors, means differential lines, differential vectors. Now differential surface. To see the differential surface, we have to just consider that the surface can be obtained by multiplying two lines. Means if you have a line like this, and if you multiply, or if you draw another line like this, and if I name this as, this is x, this is y, then combination of this x, y will give you x, y plane. This will give you x, y plane, means surface. So to obtain a surface, just you have to multiply two lines. Means if you want to calculate the area of this surface, just take this x and y and multiply these two. X into y will give you surface area. So surface, the unit vector, the unit of surface area is meter square. Okay. Then in three systems, in a rectangular system, differential surface can be x, y, it can be x, z, it can be y, z. There are three possibilities. If you take only two vectors, you have to take only two vectors, either x, y, or the third is z, either x, y or y, z or x, z. If you take x, z, then it will be called as y equal to constant plane or x, z plane. If you take z equal to constant, then it will be x, y plane. Z equal to constant is x, y plane, and y equal to constant is x, z plane, and x equal to constant is y, z plane. So there are three planes. So differential distances, differential surfaces, differential surface in, so let me draw another figure which will be more clear. This is z axis. So differential surface in x, y plane, it will be d in x, y plane, it will be d differential distance into differential distance or in x direction, and multiplication of differential distance in x and differential distance in y direction. Differential distance in x direction is dx and differential distance in y direction is dy. So you will have a small surface which will be having a differential distance as dx in x direction and differential distance in y direction. So differential surface will be ds equals to dx dy. This is scalar multiplication. Dx is scalar value, dy is scalar value. So difference ds will be scalar, but in fact the surface has direction. Surface has direction. This xy plane is a surface, it has a direction given by z axis. Z axis shows the direction of xy plane. Similarly, if you have xz plane, then y axis will show the direction of yz plane. Means perpendicular vector to the plane shows the direction of plane. So in this two, the third one is perpendicular. In this surface, differential surface dx dy, the perpendicular vector will be a cap z. Means z axis will show the direction of this surface represented by xy. Dx dy represent a differential surface. The direction of that differential surface is represented by a unit vector perpendicular to this plane, and we know that z is perpendicular to xy. So differential z means that z will be perpendicular to dx dy. So a cap z will show the direction of dx dy plane. Similarly, there are three possibilities. So if we consider xz plane, so differential surface will be, I can write all the three, I can copy that and show you. These are three differential surfaces. Differential surface in x direction means in x direction it will be dx dy dz. These are scalar values. So if I show you, if I want to show you the vector, then it will be like this. Just I have to add a unit vector here. Just I have to add a unit vector here. It is a cap z, because z is missing here. So it will be a vector surface. If I just want to have a vector surface in y direction, it is in y direction, then I have to multiply here a cap y. So if I want to have a vector surface vector, differential surface vector in z direction, this was x, in z direction, then I have to multiply here a unit vector in z direction, a cap z. The first was x, a cap x आएगा, ठीक है, बिल्कुल सही, ठीक है, a cap x, a cap y, a cap z. So these are differential surfaces. These are vector quantities. In the x direction, we can call it as differential surface vector in x direction, differential surface vector in y direction, and differential surface vector in z direction, and the formula will be d like this. Next, we have to see the scalar, we have to see the surface, differential surface in cylindrical system. So in cylindrical system, we can have three differential surfaces. One is in rho direction, another is in phi direction, and third one will be z direction. We have three components, rho, phi and z. Then the differential surface can be obtained by multiplying any two parameters like rho phi or phi z or rho z. So if we consider only rho phi, then the differential surface will be called as the differential surface in z direction. So I can write ds in z direction as the multiplication of two differential vectors, that is d rho into the differential vector in phi direction. Differential vector in phi direction is rho into d phi. Differential vector in phi direction is rho into d phi, and the direction is z. So we will have a cap z as a direction. So this is a scalar component of differential surface. This is a vector component of differential surface. So similarly, we can have differential surfaces in another. We can have these two this combination phi and z. So for this we will call it as differential surface in rho direction. So differential surface in rho direction will be combination of this phi and z, where the differential vector in phi direction will be rho into d phi. rho d phi, and in z direction it will be dz, and the unit vector will be in this direction, d rho, oh sorry, a cap rho. So this will be a scalar component and this will be a vector component of this differential surface. So the third possibility will be this combination of rho and z. So for that we can call it as a differential surface in phi direction. So differential surface in phi direction will be the multiplication of differential vector in rho direction, it will be d rho. Differential vector in z direction will be dz, and the unit vector in phi direction is a cap phi, a cap phi. So this is scalar component and this is vector component. So this is all about the differential surface in cylindrical system. Now differential surface in spherical system, we have three components r, theta and phi. So differential surface in spherical system for r equal to constant, so it will be ds of r, it is a vector quantity, so it will be multiplication of these two differential vectors. So differential vector in phi direction, differential vector in theta direction is r into d theta, and differential vector in phi direction is actually rho into d phi, but rho is not the part of spherical system and rho is replaced with sin theta, r sin theta. So we can write is r sin theta, into d phi, So r sin theta into d phi is the scalar is the scalar component in phi direction, and r theta is the scalar component in theta direction. So multiplying theta and phi will give you a scalar component of differential surface in r direction, and the direction of r for this vector differential surface can be represented by unit vector a cap r. So this is the scalar component of differential surface, vector differential surface in r direction, means where r is constant. The second possibility is theta is constant. If theta is constant, then it will be ds of theta. ds of theta will have multiplication of differential vectors in remaining two directions, means if you take theta, then remaining two is r and phi. So differential vector in r direction is dr. Differential vector in phi direction is rho into d phi, but rho is not a part of spherical system, so rho is replaced with r sin theta and d phi is there. So r sin theta d phi, r sin theta d phi, r sin theta d phi is the scalar component in phi direction, where dr is the scalar component in r direction. Multiplying these two will give you scalar component of the differential surface in theta direction, and to get the vector differential surface we have to multiply with unit vector a cap this theta, a cap theta. Similar is the third case, ds of phi is the vector differential surface in the direction of phi, that is where phi is constant. So we will have these two as components. So differential vector in r direction is dr, and in theta direction is r d theta, like this, r d theta, and these two are nothing but the scalar component of differential surface. And for vector differential surface we have to multiply it with unit vector a cap, and because it has phi is constant, means it is in the direction of phi, so to represent direction of phi we have to write a cap phi. Okay, then the next topic is differential volume. This is all about differential surface. The next is differential volume. So differential volume in rectangular system, cylindrical and spherical system. These three topics we have to study. The first is differential volume in Cartesian system, means rectangular system. For that, consider this figure. This figure shows you differential volume. Dx is the differential distance in x direction, dy is the differential distance in y direction, dz is the differential distance in z direction. If you multiply three distances of this cube, it will give you volume of the cube. So multiplying these three distances gives you volume of cube. So these three gives you volume, means scalar component of differential volume. And the volume doesn't have any direction, as surface has direction. Surface जो है उसका direction होता है. We have surface and it has a direction in z direction, but volume doesn't have any direction. So differential volume is only scalar component. So this is about differential volume in Cartesian system. Now consider another figure for differential volume in cylindrical system. Consider this figure. Differential volume in cylindrical system. So for that we have to consider this area. Consider this area. This is the differential volume that we have to consider. In this, the top surface we have 6 faces. The top face, bottom face, left and right, the front and back. This is the volume. To calculate the volume, we have to multiply only three differential lines. The first, this line. We have to multiply this line with this differential line and this differential line. There are 3 differential lines. I can take any point on that volume. I am taking this point and connecting all the connecting lines. Just we have to multiply the distances. So this distance is nothing but differential phi. This is actually rho into d phi. This is rho into d phi. This distance is only d rho, and vertical distance is dz. So multiplying all the 3, rho d phi into d rho into dz, will give you this formula. This is a scalar component of differential volume. Differential volume itself is a scalar, so we can call it as differential volume because it is a scalar quantity. The next is differential volume in cylindrical system. So for that, consider this figure. So this figure shows you differential volume. In this we have 6 faces. One face is you can see this face. One face is the bottom face. So this is one face, this is another face, this is top face, and the bottom is there. So this is the differential volume. In this, I can pick any point. I can take any point. So I am taking this point, the front point. Let me change the color. This is the front point. So connecting the lines of this point will be the first. This is one connecting line. There is another connecting line, and this is another. There are 3 connecting lines. So these 3 are the differential distances. This is differential distance in rho direction. This is differential distance in r direction. Theta direction. This is differential distance in r direction. This differential distance in r direction, this in theta direction, and this in phi direction. So differential distance in r direction will be dr only. Differential distance in theta direction is r sin theta. It is written here, r sin theta. And differential distance in phi direction is r sin theta into d phi. R sin theta into d phi. It is written here, r sin theta into d phi. And this differential distance in theta direction is r d theta. It is written here. And differential distance in r direction is written here. So if you multiply these three distances, you will be having a volume. So to get the volume, just multiply all the three sides. So you will get this formula. This formula give you differential volume in spherical system. So I think you are familiar with this topic. So here we have completed the first topic, the first part of the this unit. So we'll start another session of 1 hour in 5 minutes. So I am closing this video because I have to upload videos of approximately 1 hour. So I think it is about more than 50 minutes. So I can as we have finished the first topic, so I am closing it here. I will be starting the next lecture in just 5 minutes. Okay.